My name is Chiara Padovani, and I'm a candidate for City Councillor in Ward 5, York South-Weston.
Good morning. Nice to meet you.
Good
Chiara,
morning.
right?
That's
I
right.
say it.
You got
Took me
it.
4 years to say her name. My
That's
gosh.
okay. It's a tough one. It's a tough
Say
one.
Padovani. You got a commanding voice as a Padovani. Do the end. You're Padovani.
Padovani.
Get the voice. She looks sweet and smiling, but don't mess with her.
Don't mess with me, no.
I know. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. How's your campaign going?
Campaign has been going great.
This is your second time, right?
This is my third time.
I didn't know that. Really?
I ran in 2018,
I didn't know
in
that.
2022,
Oh,
and
wow.
in this year, 2026.
And last year you came 94 votes, right?
We came so close.
And I did a video blog yesterday. I said, you know what? Your vote counts. You're a citizen of the city. It's your right to make a say in the matter, right?
100%.
Exactly, right?
100%.
People think not gonna make a difference. 94 votes. You're like the biggest ad right now. 94 votes makes a difference.
94 votes. It was a very close out of tens of thousands of votes.
Well, when I went to bed that Monday night, I had you winning. So I woke up the next morning. What the heck happened there?
It was a nail biter.
How'd you feel after that? Were you so close?
You know, it was mixed feelings because on the one hand, before the election, all of the political insiders were telling me it's impossible to beat an incumbent.
And Ramoni did.
Yep.
Yeah.
And especially with an incumbent like Francis Nunziata, who's, a bit of a political dynasty. And so everyone was telling me it's impossible, but I didn't really let that
Good for you. Yeah.
faze me. And so when the results came in, on the one hand, it was really validating because clearly it's not impossible.
No.
Because of how close it was. But on the other hand, it's always worse to lose by just a few votes than it is to lose by a larger margin. So, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking, but it just means that we are gonna have to
It's alright. That's how business she is.
Hello? I don't know how to turn this phone off.
Is that speaker? Is that speaker?
No, it's not on speaker. I don't know how to. I thought I was adjusting the volume there. I don't know where the DNC is.
You guys just pull the plug out.
I'll just pull the plug out. So it'll ring the other phones. Okay.
Good.
There we go.
Yeah. No, it's
Remind me to put the plug back in.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
so close. Yeah. But I saw the. It's over there.
Yeah, it's over there.
That's okay.
I don't think we're gonna be able to stop that one.
That's okay. But the results are just like you said. It's not impossible, right?
It's not impossible. No, it's totally possible. But mind you, this was after 6 years of working, organizing in the community, and so I'm hoping that this time we can actually make it happen.
Well, I did a video with one guy yesterday. He said made a good point. A lot of people have come to this community in the last 4 years. People don't know who the old incumbents are. They just say your face.
True.
Right?
True. Yeah.
And they have the right to vote.
That's right.
We're spreading the word. We got community groups of Scarborough working on getting you guys promoted out there and getting them in office.
Amazing.
I just said for example, I did 20 interviews already, right?
Oh, good for you.
You're my 24th interview. So you just take your 24 right there. That counts right there. That's one.
That's true.
And you put that in City Hall with your backgrounds and all the backgrounds out of the interviews, so they're all great. And what difference I can make? Just right there.
You're right.
And there's something missing. All their stories, each one's got a personal story. It's all grassroots, why they started. Some has been hard to struggle with, and they all run canceled. Personal tragedies to triumphs, like yourself. And speaking of, I don't want to bring it up, something devastated you after your election. You know what it is? Your accident.
Oh yeah.
I was saying so many rosies for those 2 weeks. I thought it was a joke. I thought because it was close to Halloween time, right? I thought they maybe it was a Halloween time.
It was in June.
June, yeah. But I was like, oh yeah. I was like, wow, what the heck happened there? What did she do? I was like praying and all that,
Thank you. Yeah, that was really scary.
Yeah.
So basically on June 19th in 2023, so just about, a few months, about half a year after the election, I was struck while I was riding my bicycle through Weston Road at Weston and Lawrence. And yeah, it was really terrifying. It took me a long time to be able to talk about it. It took me a long time to recover, both like physically because I broke a lot of bones.
Oh my gosh.
I was rushed to emergency. I had a concussion that took a long time to recover from too. I was off work for a year in recovery, and I'm so grateful for everyone who helped me recover. And then the psychological impact of that took me even longer to be able to get back on my bicycle and enjoy riding my bike again. But I wouldn't say I'm grateful for the experience, because I'm not. It was a very hard time in my life. But I do think that that experience has also kind of reinvigorated and reinforced my passion for road safety, and that's become a really strong pillar in my platform for City Council.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing now is I'm actually going around I'm asking people in the neighborhood, where are the most dangerous intersections, where are the most dangerous
watching
parts
your videos, yeah. That's
of
the
York
Lord,
Southwestern.
yeah.
So the first safety audit I did was at Weston and Lawrence, and so I've been researching with road safety experts how to make that intersection safer. And I'm doing the same thing in a number, about like half a dozen other areas in York Southwestern, so that we can actually start to visualize and see how our neighborhood and our roads can be made safer for every road user. And I'm really committed to making sure that these improvements happen when I'm elected as City Council.
I saw you in I saw you in September, Labor Day.
Yeah.
You're in a wheelchair with Bruno.
That's right.
When I saw you, I was videotaping, I was almost in tears, like, oh my gosh, how are you doing? Like, go out.
That's right. Yeah,
you know,
it was
it's
still
so nice to hear. You're still, I think you're walking a bit, right? I'm not sure.
I had a weight bearing cast on by that time. It would have been in September, so I was probably able to weight bear, but not for long periods of time.
Yeah,
so
it's so nice to see you. Just
threw me in the wheelchair,
wow.
and Bruno just pushed me through the Labor Day parade because I didn't want to miss it.
Oh well. Before we get into your background, there's something you do with your office. You ran your office, you turn it into the community center.
Yeah.
And that's great. So we have something in common. We share the same complaint for the same property owners. Bryan River.
Oh, that's right.
I live in one of the buildings there.
That's right.
You
were
doing the West End, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Same,
So after I came so close to becoming the city councilor and lost by just those 94 votes, one of the things that was the most heartbreaking for me wasn't even necessarily the loss of the election, but it was giving up the office, because I really wanted to hold on to an office and have a place where we could organize and continue to like help people in the community, because that's what the campaign office had been for the whole campaign for those 6 months. So when I didn't win and I wasn't going to be able to keep my office open, I was like, you know what? Maybe I can still keep the office. And so I called all of my campaign donors, and I asked them, hey, would you be able to chip in a few dollars, $5 or $10 a month, for the next couple of years, so we can keep this office open and keep doing the work that we've been doing over the course of the campaign. And everyone was super positive. And so I was able to, raise enough funds to keep paying the rent through like small monthly contributions. And we turned it into a community office where it's been home to the York Southwestern Tenant Union.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
For the last
That's
4
amazing.
years.
You're the first camp to do that, to turn your campaign off to a community home.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, I'm really proud of that.
Yeah,
I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, you impressed a lot of people, and they're looking at you like, wow.
And as a result of that, one of the things we were able to do out of that office was organize our neighbors at 1440 and 1442 Lawrence Avenue West, whose landlord is the same as yours, Barney River.
Mine's 100, 105 Arena West, Arena Avenue, yeah.
And
same one. And you won.
We won.
You won. A lot of fighting,
I mean, it's not entirely over yet,
No.
but we did win a lot of the in-suite repairs that tenants deserved, and the before and after shots of people's apartments. Honestly, it's unbelievable, but it's also so shameful that it took going to that length.
Yeah, and how about over 100 tenants?
Over 100, yeah.
That's sad.
And now we're still actually in the tribunal with the case. We're waiting for the final result, because we want to know how much compensation tenants are going to be entitled to.
Yeah.
So we have fought, we made our case.
You saw the pictures he took of all the, my gosh. I thought ours was bad.
One of the really fun things we did, because pests were, and still are, to be honest, a big problem in the building, and the landlord just wasn't doing the pest control that
You're talking cockroaches,
cockroaches, mice,
bed bugs.
bed bugs.
Yeah, same as us.
And so one of the things that we did, which is, you know, a little bit out there, but I think
What'd you do?
it was effective, was we collected some of the dead
Oh yeah,
mice.
Yes, I saw
And
that.
we actually delivered it to Barney River's headquarters downtown. And we had this big blow up rat also. So we had this huge kind of PR stunt where we actually delivered people's dead mice. And I remember we wrote a card that said, "Dear Barney River, every time we see these guys, we think of you. Sincerely, your tenants at 1440 and 1442."
Maybe come loan those mice out to our side. I could live there anyway, but still, right? Yeah, it's disgusting. Did you deal with the same their paralegal we had, the Indian lady? We had an Indian lady doing all the cases for our side. She was.
No, they had for.
She was
our
telling
case,
us. She was telling, "Well, why don't you sell your car to pay off your debt and all this?" Tell us to sell her car. Who are you? You know, like she was nasty. You don't need your car. You and your mother can just take the TTC or take a wheel change, advising us what to do with our money. Yeah,
unbelievable.
and
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
We had.
nasty.
They had another law firm that was representing them in our case.
Oh yeah, another one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. But anyways, your case, and I heard recently about $500 road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're there, right? You know Ryan. I'm gonna be interviewing you next time. Right?
That's great. No, $500 road. Honestly,
that is a precedence.
good. Yeah, and good for them. We need these kinds of precedent-setting cases.
Jail time, right? 13 days in jail. Now pending with the. He said fire service now investigating their part and seeing further charges or whatever.
That landlord has just let that build. It's criminal. You know, it's criminal.
I mean, there are good landlords. I'll tell you that there are. I've met some really good ones.
Oh, absolutely.
But yours, like those ones are pretty bad. Yeah. So let's go to your background. We're Portuguese, right?
My father's Italian. My mom is English.
English.
And my husband is Argentinian.
Alright, so you got the European blood.
Well, yeah, and South American. Well, I mean, I guess not in my blood.
I've got a bunch to pick with you.
Okay.
I'll put it on TV now. You promised me something 4 years ago. I'm still waiting.
What was it?
Bruno's chili.
I promised you Bruno's chili?
Yeah, you put on the end. You went on your advertising a famous home brewed chili.
Oh,
and I said,
I know.
I'm gonna get
my good chili.
So you know the old Argentinian rule, right? If you just a Portuguese guy with chili, you got to take the next best thing. So after this interview, I'm gonna take a Bruno home and make my chili. He's a good guy.
Fair enough.
I know,
Fair enough. He's a good guy. I'm really lucky to have him on my side, and he's been so supportive during the campaign.
Yeah, he was great, eh? Yeah. Just amazing. I talked to him, I think once or twice after that, after I saw you, doing all the protests and all that. And he's really vocal too. He's not just a silent husband. He's part of your team.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's his own person, and he's been a huge tenant leader in our tenant union, and has been doing really great, amazing work, both with labor and with
labor.
housing.
Yeah, I heard good things about you.
Yeah.
So let's go into your background. Well, I know let's talk about your background briefly. You're born here in Toronto.
I was born here in Toronto. I was born and raised York Southweston. Actually, so we're at my campaign office now. I grew up just at the corner of Eglinton on Weston Road.
Okay.
I went to York Memorial, and now I live in this community with my husband Bruno in Weston, and I'm a social worker in this community. I work at the food bank. Well, I did before.
Want to give a shout out to the food bank?
Yeah, shout out to North York Harvest Food Bank.
You're a great advocate. Yeah.
And
it's a couple ladies here. Amy, out there. She's on the list there. I think she works there. I saw the videos. Amy, Robin. They're in your Instagram videos. They're volunteers.
Oh yeah, Amy and Robin from the tenant union.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
I
sort of make sure their names too. Yeah.
Okay, right on. Shout out to Amy and Robin. We've got a really great. When I think about what we've built with our tenant union, it is really something. And every time I walk into that community office, it really feels like we're building something that is going to be game changing for the city. And I'm really proud of everything that we've been able to do.
Yeah, you're out of all the councils that ran in 22. That's right, I mentioned 22 at the Relievia Parade. He came over and says, "Phil the Cruz, mirror to be." I give you a hug there, and from that time on, your reputation has grown. Big time. Like I get all this stuff about you. Out of all the candidates, I'm not saying they're all bad, but out of it, like I said, you took your campaign office made it a community hub, which has never been done before. I don't think I've seen in my.
I don't think
Okay.
I've seen that happen
But
before
just on
either.
that, I mean, you're disappointed you lost, but you took that loss as a gain to like work for the community. Like a lot of the candidates, sometimes they just they're in there and then they're gone. You don't hear from them, right?
Yeah, I mean,
They
people have
disappear.
people have lives that they have to
that's true.
continue
But
to live,
you
right?
make sure you're on the forefront, and you're just doing it for the community, right? So
Yeah.
let's talk about something I'm impressed on. And you did work in overseas
Yeah, so I lived in Ecuador and in Argentina.
for how long?
I was in Ecuador for 3 years, in Argentina for 3 years too. And in both cases, so in Ecuador, I was working with a women's rights organization. And in Argentina, I was working with a human rights organization. And both of those, it's funny, both of those experiences really shaped the kind of advocate and like activist I've become back home here. And one of the things when I was in Ecuador, a lot of people in Ecuador would say, oh, well, you're from Canada. I'm sure you don't have these problems in Canada.
Yeah.
Like you don't have people who are homeless or people who are living in poverty. And I just remember thinking, wow, like it's not, people outside of Canada have this idea that we figured all this stuff out.
Yeah.
But we still have, and when I would tell them, like, actually, we still have people who die in the wintertime. They freeze to death because they're homeless. And they were just so appalled that a country as wealthy as Canada could let that happen to.
Well, I guess they don't see media and stuff. It
residents.
doesn't really show that stuff.
No.
Like we see every day.
And then I just remember thinking, like, it is appalling. It is appalling that a country as wealthy as Canada, a city as wealthy as Toronto, can let that happen to our own people, our own residents. And I decided that I was doing the right kind of work in terms of like international human rights and the right to have a dignified life, but I kind of felt this pulling me back to Toronto.
Well, I asked you first. What made you decide to go there in the first place? Like, what brought you there?
So I studied international development.
Okay.
And I did a year of an exchange in Ecuador where I was working with this women's rights organization, and when I graduated, they hired me. They wanted me to come back.
That's amazing.
And so I did. I loved it. I learned so much. And then I felt that pull to come back home. I felt like I was doing the right work, but just not in the right place.
Did you think back then I wanted to run for council, like way back when you were there at the time?
When I was in Ecuador, no. But when I was in Argentina, because then what happened was I came back. I did my master's in social work at York University because I wanted to work as a social worker here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fell in love with my husband, Bruno.
Oh, him again with the children.
Yep. And he was doing his doctorate in Argentina, and so I moved to Argentina to accompany him in his doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I worked with a human rights organization for 3 years, an amazing human rights organization. And again, I've learned so much from them and from just living in Argentina and the social movements that I was a part of there. And there was one day when I was at home in Argentina, and I was watching what was happening here in and around the Mount Dennis LRT station, a lot of land speculation, a lot of people getting displaced from my own community. And I just turned to Bruno and I was like, I really want to go back home. Like, I really felt that pull again to go back home and do the same kind of work that I was doing.
Like an ache in the heart, you got to go there?
Yeah. The same kind of work that I was doing internationally, but I wanted to bring it to my own home.
Oh, wow.
And so Bruno was like, and I said, I think I want to run for office. And he's like, all right, let's do it. So he finished his doctorate and we moved back to Toronto. And that was the first time I ran. So in 2018.
2018, right?
Yeah.
So you ever heard of UNESCO?
Yeah.
So I'm a member of UNESCO.
Uh-huh.
So your name is known out there.
Oh, really?
For humanitarian work.
Oh, wow.
Just to let you know that, in case you didn't know that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I do my homework. I mention your name in the groups that are in the people I'm part of. Yeah.
That's really flattering.
Yeah. So the work you did, the work you did is not unnoticed. It is noticed that you did Ecuador, especially Argentina.
Yeah.
And your name's out there. So maybe in the future, one day you may get approached or you may get you got recognized. So I'm going to be a doubt that you may be doing lectures one day for international. What you're doing here, you never know.
Wow,
Right?
right
You didn't know
on.
that, eh?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
it's a
did
nice
not know
compliment.
that.
It's
It
a
is a
nice.
very
It's
compliment.
nice.
It's very-
really great. Yeah.
It's a huge compliment.
Just the work you do. That a true Canadian. That you've done this, come to this another country, do all this work, and going back. I'm sure they want you back. I know that they want you to come back and do more work in another country. That
Well,
I think that's just for the UNESCO.
well, when I was working there, I was it was quite an honor to be kind of accepted into those organizations as a Canadian.
Yeah.
What the heck does a Canadian know about what's
And you
going
feel
on
great. You
over
represent
Argentina?
Canada, right? You represent
Yeah.
your country in that kind of aspect, right?
True.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting. It was interesting to be challenged also because. So for example, in Toronto, we have a child poverty rate of 1 in 4 kids are living below the poverty line. And when I tell that to folks in Ecuador and Argentina, they're like, what? How is that possible? Like, how is a country as wealthy as Canada? So that's in Toronto, that's 1 in 4, but in our community of York Southwestern, it's 1 in 3.
I was going to say that one in your community, yeah. Yes.
So there's even greater inequalities
I
here.
think it's the highest word for child poverty in this ward alone, I think.
I don't know if it's the highest, but there's definitely.
I'm saying the lowest, like what, 1 in 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it might go to 1 in 2. We don't know if nothing's done.
Well,
It's getting there slowly, and it shouldn't be.
Child poverty is getting worse because of the cost of living, because of the cost of rent.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the biggest, and I know this from my work at the food bank, the fact that housing is taking up everyone's income.
Yeah.
I tell folks, I wish my wage went up as fast as my rent.
Yeah.
Because rents are just increasing at a rate that is outpacing
So
our
the
wages.
food prices too are going up,
Absolutely.
You've seen the food bank. People are missing meals. Kids are missing meals going to school.
Exactly. Exactly. And it shouldn't be this way.
Yeah. Well, they have a few, like in my area, a lot of churches are doing their own food, like bed and breakfast for kids. It's just voluntary. But I think the government should, like back in the war days, churches were used for housing, refugees, foods, drives.
Yeah.
I think they should put a bylaw. If you have, there's a lot of kitchens in the churches I go to, Catholic, and they're unused. And they can be used greatly for volunteers. I've got a lot of volunteers who love to cook. Especially Italian group are in part. They love to take kids and all, and make sure they have full bellies, because kids with little empty bellies are affecting their lives, and they're our future, right? They are our future.
100%.
Your future children, when you have children this side, will be the future of this world, of this city, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And look at a mom, right?
I don't know if I'm going to be a mom, but
what is this breaking news on this?
whether it's my nieces or nephews.
I saw they're so cute, eh?
They are cute.
They love you so much.
I'm a very proud Tia.
Yeah. Auntie. Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to become a mom myself.
Oh, that's your decision, right?
Yeah.
That's good. At least some people I know, a couple of friends, they say, well, we got to have a kid let's have a kid. Let's get over it. That's the wrong reason to have a kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially you're both in the financial kind of your work, right? I got a friend, she's a doctor, she's an anesthesiologist, she's got no time for kids. And her family says, oh, we got grandkids. Well, it's selfish to do that, Your other siblings to do all that.
I respect everyone's decision.
Yeah, you have to, yeah. Those old days of you get married, the old ways of...
Yeah, and you have to have kids.
Married, young wife, married, housewife, and all those days are gone, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your platform. You've got a big platform, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have 4 kind of pillars in my platform. Yep. We've spoken about our tenant union, so obviously housing and tenant rights is a big chunk of my platform. I want to continue to fight for rent control. I want every unit built on public land to be rent controlled. Mm-hmm. I want to bring in a bylaw against above guideline increases that'll take a similar form to the renovictions bylaw, but targeting those AGIs that we know Barney River does. And a lot of these big financialized landlords are charging tenants extra rent just to pay for the work that landlords are supposed to be doing in the first place. I want to bring in a maximum temperature bylaw faster. Right now it's been delayed.
Yeah. You're talking about the heat control and yeah.
I don't want, it's illegal for a landlord to let your building get too cold in the wintertime. It should be illegal to get too hot.
The one we lived at, they wouldn't turn the heat up to like this certain like May 30th. By the time it's like a heat wave like in our apartment.
Exactly.
Luckily, we have air conditioners, but other people are seniors.
Exactly.
And we're on the second floor, they're on the 10th floor. They're suffering.
Yeah.
You know,
Not to mention how many landlords have prevented tenants from actually installing air
that's another
conditioners,
thing.
which could be life saving in a heat wave. And I want to put in harsher penalties for landlords that aren't following
Yes, like we talked about earlier. Yeah,
bylaws
exactly.
and their standards. So, and this is especially true for landlords like Barney River.
Yeah.
Barney River got away with substandard conditions in those buildings for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years, and they were never fined. There's no way we should be letting a landlord get away with this for that long without the city stepping in and saying, we're ordering you to do this, and if you don't do it, you're going to start getting a fine.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about around my housing platform, what I want to try to push for when I'm in city council. And then another big issue here in York Southwestern is around flooding.
Oh, yes.
So there's a lot of basement flooding.
Your fellow that Tim I saw in the video, Tim there, doing the,
That's
he's great.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen him before. Yeah.
Tim's a wealth of knowledge around.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
was
like a
watching
water
that the
resource
other day.
engineer. He's very knowledgeable, and I'm really lucky to have somebody like that who is sharing so much of his time and expertise. So York Southwestern, we're home to the worst floodplain in the city, in Rockcliffe Smythe, and I want to make sure that homes are in Rockcliffe Smythe are getting protected. So there's some new things I want to try to make legal to protect homes in the floodplain.
Did he put in or was it he or you put in a report, proposed $383 million for that whole configuration of the whole area?
So there's currently a project that has received over $300 million from the flooding disaster relief funds from the federal government, and there are some questions about whether or not it's actually going to protect homes who are in the floodplain. So I want to make sure that we go in and clarify that, make sure that the people who need the help the most are
Wasn't there
getting it.
money allocated, $3 million for the flood victims, and it was not used all the way?
That's
You're
right.
smiling.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
talking about, right?
So there was funding that the city of Toronto put aside, $3 million, as like kind of financial assistance for residents who had their basements flooded.
Mhm.
But it none of it, like very little of it ever got
And why is that?
distributed.
I mean,
I mean I think it was
Did you-
just a political
did you
ploy.
ever find where the money went? Like,
Oh, it's still just sitting there. It's just
it
unused.
has been used. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just unused.
Yeah.
So there's like these political stunts that happen conveniently right before an election.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
And then when it comes to actually executing those plans, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Or they're impossible to get access to. So yeah, very few people in the neighborhood have actually
That's
been able to
sad.
access those funds.
Yeah. The money's there.
Exactly. And then another pillar is the road safety, like we talked about before,
right.
as a result of mine. So I'm going around and I'm doing these road safety audits to make sure.
There's a few you got, not just Western Lawrence. There's quite a few you got that are.
And there's going to be more coming too.
I like the one with the you can't see the street lights or the signals with all the pillars in the way.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't like common sense. Just you're supposed
No,
to
I
have a
know.
peripheral view, not from an angle, but just like.
I know.
Yeah, that's why I did do a study with that.
I know.
I mean, spend $40 million on consultation fees. You can talk to some traffic guard. The traffic guards will tell you. The other ones will give the answers, right?
When you can't see a pedestrian signal
I
because
saw
it's
that. I was
behind
like,
a pole,
yeah.
then that's an issue. There's a few quick fixes that we can do at that intersection.
Just something simple, right? Nothing complicated, right?
And then the last pillar of my platform is around youth opportunities for youth.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, so we have a much higher child poverty rate here, and that makes it really difficult for our kids to succeed in this community, or it adds extra barriers. And so I want to make sure that kids after school and on the weekends can have access to just positive places to be. But we also have some of the longest wait lists for recreation programming with the city. So I want to try and start a new partnership with our school board where City of Toronto recreation programs can be run out of our school facilities to help cut down that wait list. I want to pair it with a youth employment strategy so young people in this community can have like their first opportunity to earn money, being like a solid job that they can see themselves as the future with.
The youth mentoring, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and specifically youth recreation workers.
And just working and being responsible. Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah,
So that's-
I know you're big on youth. I know big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with the kids around. You got a lot of kids in Eva, I know.
Yeah.
I came down the subway this morning, like, all these kids come from. It's not school yet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we've got, and it's you know, it's important because, like you said, they're our future, and we want to make sure we're setting them up for success.
So yeah, well, I've seen the before the last day of the election or registration date, all the last name changes and all that, and
So there's a lot of people on the ballot this time.
on your ballot, but also like 2 incumbents have come back to run again, 1 switched sides or whatever, and all that.
Diane Sachs changed wards. Yeah.
And you know them all, right? Yeah, you know. I think you know that. Yeah. I'm not a problem with that if you're an incumbent, like you run before, but you know, it's like yourself. You're a new blood. You know, it's your 3rd time to run again. It says something about it, right? And why? And people ask, why should I didn't know you ran 3 times, but I only ran twice. So people ask, I get emails about you. They know you're married. I get that. Are you just single? They ask about your accent. They wanted you to mention that. It was really sad to hear. Yeah, they really affect a lot of candidates. Like just not me, because we're all, even though we're in separately mayor candidates, we get to know each other through the deliberate, and it's like the whole bonding thing. You know, we're all, but
of course,
it kind of affects everybody. You know, like wow, you know.
And it's not easy to run for office. Like you gotta build a thick skin.
You do. And I also want to mention you are backed by quite a few QPs.
Yep. Yeah. And I've received.
You want to give a shout out to any of them?
Well, I'll give a shout out to all the QPs. Yeah. QP Local 79, QP Local 4948, library workers, QP Ontario. I've been very proud to have the endorsement of Labour Council. I was the first candidate that they released their endorsement for. So
really? Wow.
Very honored to have that.
That is nice.
And because, you know...
Did they ever give you a reason why they chose you? Like why they, first time doing that? Did they give you a reason?
No, I had their endorsement last time too.
Okay.
And I think when I'm running for office, you know, if I'm not getting the endorsement of workers and the endorsement of tenants, then you really have to ask yourself, who exactly are you running for?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, when a candidate is backed by just big money, big business.
Yeah. That we've seen before, right?
Which we've seen before. Yeah. You know, we start to see decisions getting made that hurt people, right? People like workers, like renters, like regular people who live in Toronto. So I'm really proud to have the endorsement of the Toronto Labour Council, being on the side of workers, being on the side of renters, because that's why I'm running.
Yeah. I'm not the only one that kept bugging to run again. I know other people kept pressuring you. Yeah, I know. You had a lot of people on as.
But you know what, Philip? I never even needed the pressure.
No, but it's nice to have it, right?
Yeah, no,
and
it is nice.
It's a great compliment because they believe in you, right?
It is nice to have people encouraging you to run, because that definitely was not the case the first time I ran. The first time I ran in 2018, rather than having people encouraging me to run, there were probably lots of people.
Well, you're saying really you're not gonna be the incumbent, right?
Yeah. So not only just the message of like, okay, beating an incumbent is impossible, but also the fact that was the year 2018 was the year that Doug Ford cut council in half.
Right. Yeah.
So there were wards got merged. Yeah. So I wasn't just running against one incumbent; I was running against two. And there was a lot of pressure from even some of my friends and allies for me to drop out of the race. So, you know, it's nice to be encouraged to run instead of encouraged to drop out.
Yeah.
And that's definitely.
But it showed your determination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're recognized by new skills. That's another thing right there, and that's why I don't mention that. I saw your platform. I went through all your videos. Yeah. You know that.
I love it. I love it. Thank you.
800 videos.
Do I have 800?
I think it's 800. I can't remember.
Holy
yeah, 8 something on his Instagram there.
They're just piling up.
But no, I'm glad. See, you guys are what the incumbents have been doing even in this election. They're doing the same platform of election running. They can visualize themselves. The difference between them and you guys, you candidates, you're talking to people. You're in people's frustrations on your videos, and people are hearing this, and they're going, they're listening to us. You know? Right. Most media doesn't show all this. Right. You know, they're not going to show some frustrated resident in your ward. They're not happy with the incumbent. And I had an interview with the fellow yesterday, and you'll see him. Dave. He made a good point. It's funny. He says He says he went to every door, like you probably got yourself, and got like, hey, you're the first one to come. You're knocking on our door. We don't see our incumbent, right? So
Right.
definitely, they're not gonna make videos right now. If you look at it this way, an incumbent will not make a video of talking to residents because for one, they'll say where you come from. You answer my phone calls. They're not gonna put on a video. You'll never see that. So that's where win on your case, where you knew incumbents, you guys are not coming. You knew candidates running. You're talking to people because you get nothing to hide. You're out there. You're not got some kind of a past where I'm in 4 years sitting in office doing nothing. I don't answer your phone calls. And you're doing videos with people say, hey, look at you. These people run for the upcoming time. They're not going to put videos talking to people because they know when people talk to them, they're not going to be happy. So they can't show that. So you got an advantage right now. All of you, I'm telling you right now. And I get all the feedback about it. If you look at it that way, yeah, you think, I've been in council for 14 years. I'm going to talk to people. How do you feel? Where you been? Well, you're not put on video on to sell yourself for an election now.
Of course not.
So that's I know you have to be neutral back and before. I'm not in election, but I'll say right now, none Seattle, And here's another thing. I know you made a video about that. And I support you about that. What the integrity commission all we talked about, and that's just something else. People know about that. That's the thing.
Right.
That has to be rebranded, I think.
Yeah.
So if you get elected to council, what's the first thing you want to do for your community? Besides party.
Yeah, we're gonna be having a great victory party.
Yeah. It feels like I just saw that, Star Wars. Felt like the bad evil emperor's gone, and you're all celebrating in the streets.
We're gonna have we will have a big victory
just
party
to wear the uniform
on election night. Knock on wood, right? Like find some wood to knock on. It'll be fun. Let me knock some wood over there.
Oh, right there.
I can't reach it. I'm gonna get there.
Is this wood?
No, it's plastic. One of the first things I want to do in terms of like those 4 kind of policy pieces, because 4 years seems like a long time as a term for a councillor.
But it goes by fast, right?
It goes by fast and it goes by slow because city council moves so slowly. In order to like actually pass one bylaw, it's got to go through so many different committees, so many different like consultations. So there's actually a few things that I want to try to get going ASAP that would first need to be moved at committee and then pushed forward at like city council. So I mentioned a few of those bylaws. I'd want to do one kind of road safety intersection. I want to try to get one intersection fixed in every budget in York Southwestern. So first, like I'm doing the road safety audits now. I want to get those intersections fixed at least once, one every budget. So I can walk away being like, look, I fixed 4 intersections, made them safer in York Southwestern, including Weston and Lawrence, Black Creek and Eglinton was one I just did. That crosswalk at Bernice and Scarlett, which I also just did. It's on my socials. So I want to try to focus on getting one through and funded to be made safer every year on the road safety side. On the tenant side, I really want to push, kind of first thing, is push for this above guideline increase bylaw. It'll need to be studied. It'll need to go through all million things, but I want to try to get to at least by the end of my 4th term in council, I want to have an above guideline increase bylaw ready to be implemented for the city. Now, mind you, that's ambitious because if you know about the renovictions bylaw, it took like 15 years to get it actually into a bylaw.
That's terrible.
So I want to really be pushing it along to make sure that it can be done in a single term. Maybe I'm being naive, but that is kind of really what I want to try to do on the tenant side. And then on what else am I talking about? I want to start an analysis with a better partnership between the city's recreation program and the TDSB and the school boards so that we can open up more facilities to cut down our wait list for recreation programs. I want to pair that up with a pilot project for youth employment in York Southwestern. Again, I got to get all these things started ASAP. As soon as I get in there in November, I want to start.
Through a great friends of yours, and and I know I won't mention names.
Hang on, I want to finish.
Sorry.
And then for flooding,
yeah,
because flooding is another one of my key priorities.
Yes,
I want to start immediately to move a motion it would probably I don't know which council, maybe infrastructure. I don't know which council it would need to community council or which committee, but I want to get in council direction to actually ask the province to change the building code to allow for a new kind of protection for basements in the floodplain.
Oh, good.
So those are some of the things I want to do like right away.
Yeah.
I have it.
You're
They're
ready?
in my platform.
So you
but
have
I
where to
also,
go, yeah.
I want to get in there in November, and I want to get oriented. It's going to take me a while to figure out how everything is going to work from the inside.
Yeah.
And then I've got these things I want to try to push ASAP.
Amazing, yeah. So you get it all planned out, right?
Well, yeah. I've
but-
had a lot of time to think about it.
So I was going to mention earlier, sorry to interrupt you, but I know from the inside scoop that a lot of the candidates that got elected, like the ones that got friends of yours, and I know who,
Mm-hmm.
they had a lot of problems trying to get things pushed in, but the old incumbents were pushing it back. And, for example, things were brought up in different deputations, and well, it's not the place to put it, well, when are you going to bring it up? Like, this is all this, what call it? Stalling tactics all the time. Like, and this is...
Yeah, I
I think you can change that format. Like you say with the paper,
I
red
don't know if
tape.
I can change the format, but
I think you
I
have
really
to,
want
right
to try
now,
to make city council more effective.
Yeah, and I think you will. And just the fact that you said you could get one intersection per budget. I mean, it says right there, man, that you have to fight just to get one across, right? We should get them all done, right?
Well, yeah, I know.
I mean,
per budget, yeah. I mean, it is a challenge. I'm not like naive just about how challenging it is to get things moving through the process.
For anything, housing, anything,
council,
yeah.
for anything.
Yeah.
So, turning something into a new bylaw, like the renovictions bylaw, that took over a decade.
Yeah.
So, we really gotta stay on it, and so I've got my priorities, and it's just a matter of making sure that they stay on track and go through every step they have to go through without being delayed.
Yeah.
So I'm very conscious of that, and I want to make sure that I'm using my 4 years.
You're like Tim, doing his proper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got people in the back already doing their investigations and all that. So like off the key university people, these are certified guys and girls, right?
Yep.
So before what's your hobbies? I know you like sci-fi.
Oh my god, I love sci-fi.
You sent me back then. You want to know new authors? I sent you a whole list there.
Yes, you sent me a whole list.
Yeah,
I love sci-fi. I love sci-fi.
Yeah, are you a Star Trek fan and all that stuff?
Yeah, I like Star Trek. I'm not a Trekkie.
No.
But I watched Star Trek with my dad growing up. Like Star Wars, all of it. I like it all. But what I love about sci-fi as like a genre is it takes a lot of the problems that we see today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's inequality, oppression, environmental disasters, or climate change. It takes all of these issues that we see tomorrow or today, and it envisions kind of where they can go in the worst cases, right? In the worst case scenarios, but also it also envisions and imagines how we can respond
in the
future to these things. And I just find that so, I love the creativity of that, and
I remember the earlier Next Generation episodes. There's one where they revive these guys that are solid suspended animation.
Yeah.
And there's an episode they're fighting the Romans, first mentioning the Romulans, and the guy goes, "He's conning you, don't you know? Can't tell he's conning you. He's not telling you the truth. Like, but he's all for money. He wants to collect his money."
Right.
And they said we got rid of poverty and all that back then in the 21st century.
Exactly.
And he's still thinking, but he was still smart because he's not what do you call it? The guy that played the Roy Vise, he's conning you. He's still home driven, right?
Yeah,
he's still like, even though
he
he's
still
outdated,
thinks you've got to deceive people.
Even though he's outdated, you can see the guy's conning the card. I thought that was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
The old we get rid of poverty and all
Listen,
that stuff.
Star Trek was beyond its time in wise beyond its years in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it was.
No, so I love. So I read sci-fi.
Which ones do you read now?
What am I reading now? Right now, I'm reading an author. Oh man, I cannot remember the author's name, but I'm really liking it. It's called oh my goodness, what's it called?
Is it classic writer?
No, this is a new one. My husband, he got me 3 new sci-fi authors
to
try out for my birthday.
Oh.
When's
your birthday?
Last June. So I've read one. I didn't really like the first one so much. It was like it was too weird for me.
When's your birthday?
It was in June 13th. June 13th.
Are you Cancer? No, you're
Gemini.
So you just happy birthday. I just had mine in July. July is I'm Cancer.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
Happy
to you
birthday.
too. Yeah.
It's called the. Is it called the Republic of Memory? Anyway, it's about this ship that's basically deserted Earth. It talks about artificial intelligence and like space travel and just like basically Earth was we made ourselves on the brink of extinction on Earth. So then they get this spaceship to bring everybody in like suspended kind of
animation.
Yeah, like or I forget how they call it in the book, but and now they're in this. They're trying to get to a new planet that's going to be habitable by humans. But there is this whole kind of, there's all these class tensions happening on the ship, and there's this revolution that's spurring on the ship to try and take control over their futures. Anyway, it's great. I'm loving it. Loving it.
I like reading. I like you like reading too. I like when it takes your imagination out of your reality and puts you in a scenario and just
100%.
Yeah, that's what I like about reading.
And I've started to read because instead of scrolling through my phone at night, I'll still scroll for a little bit, but I find like I need to I sleep way better if I'm reading before bed than if I'm on my phone. So I've stopped. Okay, no screen time. I'm gonna read for like.
Do you like reading books or your
like a Kobo? Yeah. I read both, but I'm reading. I prefer books. I'm old school
like
that.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, there's just something about a book.
Open nice to the book. I like that.
Turning the pages. Yeah,
you go back to your book, you pick it up. You know,
exactly.
Scrolling where you left off and all. Yeah,
exactly.
Especially the bathroom run out.
The other hobby I have is knitting.
Oh, really?
I'm a knitter. I love knitting.
I haven't seen any videos. Have you done videos of you knitting?
No, I haven't done any videos of knitting. Or maybe
you
there might be
like
some
scarves?
stuff about
like my mom does scarves, sweaters, and
I do
suits.
everything.
My mom was a seamstress. She used suits and wedding dresses and all that.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. No, but I love knitting and I find it very calming.
What do you mean? What's the last thing you knitted?
I knit a bunch of like sweaters and clothes for my nieces and nephews and all the little ones that come into my life.
You can do all the patterns like my mom did. I
can do all the patterns. I'm a very good knitter.
Yeah. Are you fast?
Yeah, and I'm fast too. Like I'm a very good knitter.
So
anyway,
now,
I love knitting.
Now you can knit to win.
Knit to win.
You might say. So anything I'm gonna add to your
my hobby list?
Yeah.
The other thing I really like to do is dance salsa, but I haven't danced salsa in a long time.
Isn't it dancing? You dancing?
I like to dance.
I don't think you've seen any videos.
No, there's no videos of me dancing.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's in your blood. It's Argentinian.
Yeah, I mean it's in Bruno's blood. But Bruno dance? He does. I love going on dancing with Bruno.
Oh yeah, just places or.
We go anywhere. Or I mean, to be honest, it's not like we've gone out. You know, now I'm like almost 40, so we haven't been going out to the club, but at weddings. And there's a dance.
Are you guys good together? Like, are you good? Like, you good sync?
Oh yeah. And there's a dance studio over here that I like to go to.
Yeah.
Called Creative Expressions, and so they do lessons every. I
might
drop in some of those lessons if I have
time.
Do
you teach your nephews and nieces how to dance?
They're all in dance classes.
Oh,
so
really?
they're. I mean, not in Latin dance.
Your sister's kids, right?
Yeah. My brother's kids, both my brothers.
Yeah.
But they do their own dance, so they teach me all the latest moves themselves.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I see all the videos with you with the kids here. I thought they were your kids when I first saw them, right?
I know they look. My brothers and I look very similar.
Your family all looks alike. Seriously, like even the wives.
Yeah, we look like siblings.
Do you want to give a shout out to me before you go?
Who do I want to give a shout out? I want to give a shout out to everyone.
Your campaign team?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So my amazing campaign team, we've got Francis, my campaign manager, Andrew, my comms guy. We've got my data team with Steven and Mike, Kaylin and Karen, who have been like phenomenal, coming out with me almost every single day. Honestly, I am so blessed with the people around me. And I think that's something that I always kind of wake up in the morning and I whenever I walk into this office, I'm like, I can't believe I've got all these really great people around me. And it's why I love campaigning so much.
The community advocacy
the people
and the respect,
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we go, there's one person you forgot. I've seen a lot of videos. You told a story, few stories.
My dad?
Yeah, your dad.
Of course. I'll give a shout out to my dad.
Your dad, I did the construction. He was a construction worker back then?
My grandfather.
Yeah. And you're named after your nana?
I'm named after my nana.
Yeah.
So I'll give a shout out also then to my mom and my dad, Joe and Philippa. And my grandparents on my father's side have passed away, my nana. But my grandparents on my mom's side are still around. And you know what? They'll probably watch this whole video. So I'll give a shout out to my grandma and my grumps, Ann and Eric Carter.
I saw the videos you did with your dad. That was amazing. I love that. You know, his story, just hearing him. You know, I didn't think it was your father when I first heard the video. Like you're talking, like the way you're talking, it didn't like it was like that thing with you and your dad. Like, you know, you're talking like a reporter, like me.
Oh yeah, no, it was like we did interview style.
Yeah, it's kind of neat the way he's
interviewing my dad. Yeah,
that's it. So I'm gonna go to before I cut the camera up. You face the camera. You say, "Why should people vote for you, Mrs. Padovani?"
My name is Chiara Padovani, and you should vote for me because it is time for change in York South Weston.
Thank you so much.